Angeles or Fontana, and looking forward to this weekend?
Well, it's good. It's always good to go to the racetrack. This is a fun racetrack. For as big as it is, it's always a lot of fun when it widens out on a race, running high, running low, and juking and jiving. So always seems to race pretty well. And like I said, for the size of this racetrack, we all enjoy ourselves pretty good out there. So looking forward to it. Had a strong run last week, and hopefully we can continue this momentum and just keep building. This is a good time of the year to get your mojo rolling and get a good points base established so you can roll into this summer months, being able to race as hard as you want and take as many chances as you want.
All right, we'll open up for questions. Just raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start with Claire. We'll go to David and the Wolfgang.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. A bunch of the drivers are saying that this is a track now with the new car that you'll be able to be more aggressive at, and certainly the speeds will be up, will be fast. Aero, the cars might be closer together. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if you can be more aggressive. I mean, we're always, at 100% max potential from what I can tell, across the board. So I believe that, I think you'll see more of the same. It'll be faster. I think our speeds will be faster just with more aero grip, with the new car. So I think we've seen good things with this new car. After the Daytona 500, since we've been on what I call regular racetracks, I think it's performed well and we put on good shows. And I was excited about what we saw at Bristol. I thought it was an entertaining race to be in, and had some excitement all the way through, and even had a little fireworks going at the end. So that was fun to see at Bristol. And I think I think that same thing will apply here.
Did you like the fireworks?
Well, everybody likes fireworks.
David Caravella on NASCAR.com. Are you aware, Clint, that this is only one of 3 tracks where Toyotas have not won, and is that at all irksome given that headquarters is sort of right down the road here?
I'm not aware of that, but I think this is a track that Toyota's going to win at, soon. Our speeds are fast with our Toyotas on these big racetracks. A Toyota won on the only mile and a half we've had so far. So that speed will carry over, I believe, on this racetrack. And there's several of us that run well here, as teams and as drivers, and our equipment's certainly second to none. So we'll be just fine.
You feel like the engine stuff is behind you guys?
Sure hope so.
Go to Wolfgang Lee and then Woody.
Wolfgang Monzo, Germany, Ranchpad Press Agency. Clint, a few races now into the new season. How different is the new car compared to last year's car? Can you use any of the collected data from last year's car? You can throw everything away and try to win.
Most of it, yes, it overlays, and chassis-wise, this car's obviously the same chassis, but your speeds are different. That makes your travels more, and there's just a lot of things that are different that you have to adjust and kind of adapt to and adapt around. I think that the teams that are adapting the quickest, beating each other to the punch, are the ones that are prevailing with this new car. I think everybody's obviously had some highs and lows with the car. There's other teams, look at the 2 car. I mean, he's just been solid week in and week out with it, and never missed a beat from where they picked up last year or left off last year. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's been good so far with the new Gen 6 car. I think report card, if you can give it a grade here the first 4 races, I'm telling you it's pretty good. I mean, the first race was obviously nobody knew what was going to happen, and I think that's going to be a work in progress, as it is always with whatever car on the restrictor plate tracks. And, it seems like the objective of what the fan wants to see at those particular racetracks changes, so you're kind of reaching for a moving target at times.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. With the same cast of characters that you're competing against in the point standings up at the top, how do you compare the Toyota to the Chevrolet and the Ford, since there's representation among all 3 manufacturers?
I think it's good. I think that, that shows NASCAR, the manufacturers, everybody did their homework and did a good job, preparing these new race cars. You're seeing all 3 manufacturers running well, having good speed and sharing success like it should be. There's no one manufacturer, one team really separating from the next guy, and that's a good product of racing. So I think we've worked hard with the Toyota camp, and engines are strong, and all the things you need for a good race here at California. What we've done, and we have. So I'm looking forward to the race.
Have you done anything exciting since you've been out to California? Anything out of the
Went to Toyota yesterday. We just met all the employees. It's neat to come and it's kind of like an employee day. Hundreds and hundreds of employees come down and get autographs, and we opened up a Toyota store this week. It was a new endeavor for me, and so it was neat. I kind of got my colors this week. They handed me a plaque and my official owner's handbook and stuff like that, and it was pretty cool.
And how relieved are you to get out of being the guy associated with the fireworks and pass that mantle on to Denny? And
yes, I'm so proud of Denny and Joey. They did such a good job. It was great. It's just good to see that. Emotions are high at a short track, and things happen, and no different than what happened at Phoenix. It's entertainment. It's fun to see people get pissed off, and it caught me off guard. I was in the middle of an interview, and it's always weird doing those radio interviews when you can actually hear yourself over the loudspeaker in the stadium, Coliseum, whatever you want to call Bristol. You can hear yourself talking, and about that time I look over and pan across the big screen, and there's a fight unraveling on the big screen, and I was like, I just felt the need to take over the announcement of that particular fight or swim or whatever you want to call it. It was fun there for a minute. I was really wanting to announce the Duke City, here he comes. It was an uppercut, ladies and gentlemen, but it didn't get that far, unfortunately.
Woody came with MRM. Clint, you got any big off-week plans, Easter plans? Going to do anything?
Well, I've got to hurry up and make a plan because I've already filled up 2 days. Just as of today, this morning, Ty Norris and Ryan Berry have already filled up 2 days of my off time. So I'm going to come up to, I think I'm just going to Alaska, or I'm leaving somewhere. I'm going to be gone. It's amazing how busy they can get you in a short amount of time.
We'll go to Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Clint, how would you rate MWR's start to the season this far? It seems like you're up pretty high in points, but you guys seem like you're hoping to bust through that bubble of leading laps and contending for wins, but maybe not quite there. Where would you put yourself right now?
Well, that's the one thing that we're behind on is leading laps and a win. But if you really look at where we were at last year this time, it's just a different set of circumstances. I think we're running exactly the way we did last year. It's just the expectations of what happened to MWR right there at the end of the year, competing for a championship and being right there in the running, catapults people into thinking, us included, why aren't we need to be out at least second in the points and contending for wins and knocking on the door for that number one spot. It's just that's what you expect after the way the season ended last year. So I just think expectations are a little bit different, and they should be.
Go to Claire.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. So since you have experience with this, if there's an altercation, do you want your crew members to pull you out of the altercation, or do you want the crew members to leave you go and go talk to a driver? And at what point do you want someone to restrain a driver going to talk to another driver or not?
Can you elaborate on the repercussions of it?
That's a good follow-up. But
because if you knew that, it would drastically change everything. When's Roy Williams I hope he's prepared to lose to his old team, KU. That's how ADD works. I'm tired of talking. Let's talk about basketball now. When is that game? Do you know?
I don't know.
So when do you
repercussions?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Depends on what they are. That's why they grab us and pull us out of there. You have so many different people that you have to answer to, and you got to do the right thing. But all the while, some way, shape, or form, like I said, people are here to see that emotion and stuff carry out. So You're walking a tightrope there.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions for Clint?
Rock Shock.
Game's at 4:15.
4:15. What, are we done by 4:15?